So it seems there's an unconvicting question about homosexuality and gays in the military. Right now, I am pretty much unscripted, unedited, unshaven, unprepared, unclothed, whatever. On the basic facts of basically just that. Um, how can you have homosexuals and gays in the military or anywhere else? And the fact that basically you want to say that it is equal for them to serve. Okay, right now it is equal for them to serve, but basically it's not equal for them to serve openly, meaning they cannot express themselves and carry on in a gay, homosexual, lesbian like manner in open, like the way they some do. So the question is as to how is that equal? In my summary of my argument, I'll basically state that there's a few things that basically you'd have to think about. One is that if we were to open some things up, how is that equal if you don't have rights equal to that of those in society now? What are you expecting or hoping to get from what's going on now? The question and devised question and problem is that if it's sort of like segregation in the early 60s of colored people not being able to go to certain restrooms or to get certain drinks from certain fountains, things like that. When you bring that into the question, the roles turn, equality and segregation. There should be a larger moral question, or rather not Americans have the right, or those across the world have the right to share bathrooms, basically being unisex bathrooms. So if that means you go to a store or a restaurant and a bunch of girls go to the restroom and you want to follow them, then basically, therefore, under homosexual law and act, that basically you're opening up the equality that there's no difference between a homosexual and a straight person. So therefore, there should or should not be the prevention of those having to be able to be with you in straight terms, in clear cut. That is, if you want to be gay, you basically can go into the restroom of your same-sex desire, and when you do that, you're looking to do what? Basically, the only thing that separates the male restroom from the female restroom is basically the privacy that you wouldn't have someone that was sexually attracted or sexually over or jealous of what the other person will be doing, and therefore be like that. So basically, what you're trying to say is that homosexuals and lesbians would have higher rights to standards of living than what a normal person would. So basically, you have to you're basically putting them on a higher pedestal than anyone else in the United States, because you're saying that they live to a higher standard of morals than anyone else does under those set terms. So when that comes to gays and homosexuals, lesbians in the Navy or in the military or in the Army or the reserves or anything like that, the question comes to the idea that, okay, these people, we have segregated living quarters. We don't have co-ed. A lot of things in a lot of places don't have co-ed showers and bathrooms and stuff like that. So if you were to take and be with a homosexual that was open in the military and they say that they like guys, then how is that fair to say that you're going to be showering with them in the showers with them? I've served with those that are gay, that have come out and said they are gay and know that they are gay. So it's not like I'm saying that I'm a homophobe or anything, but it's just those are things that we deal with when we're in the military that is a problem, and that they sometimes don't have the right mannerisms when they're young to know how to deal with things and how to effectively handle their own passions and inner problems. Meaning, it's a maturity thing. Those that are, say, 16, 17, 18 that may not have that experience, the openality, to know how to handle those things. So therefore, it could be a problem, and that those that are older, say maybe can, or some that don't. It just brings question and problems into the functionality of those things that we're supposed to live by, those core values. So basically, in the defense that if you're going to allow those types of things happen with male, basically the males that have sexual desires for other males, it's no different than a male being with a female that has a sexual desire for those. So therefore, under the laws of legality, that if those things are basically understood and stated and been like that, then how can you have or want to have something like that happen to where it's not fair for one, it's not fair for all, so therefore you can't have those things. So in reality, that even then, yeah, that's why basically the don't ask, don't tell rule and set up was put in place, because of the fact that if you have that type of mentality, and then someone comes out and says that they are or not of that nature, then you have to deal with those problems. Those that don't disagree with that or agree with that, that is how it works, and that's the way it is. I have been and was for the passing of this, but there is a lot of problems that have to be untangled. Was fair? What's the difference between those of the either sex? So it's basically a bonding and turning into one. Many commanders and those people gave spoken to several of their lower ranking people and stated, that this is something that's going to change, and this is something they want to go for and push for in the future. But it's just not going to happen. It's just like saying, okay, we're going to let women into the Navy SEALs, and then say, okay, you got to go through rape proofing, so basically you're going to get raped. Well, then that would basically mean that everybody would have to get raped, because basically there's a woman in the male. So we don't have homosexual, or you got, just stupid stuff like that. It's just stupid stuff like that goes through my mind about the logistics of how people really don't think about things when they choose to do things. So as far as that leads me, I got 2 minutes left on this minute video. So basically, I was for it and am for it to pass it, but then again, there's too many problems that deal with it, and it's not really a wise thing to pass, so therefore I was stricken for it. But yeah, I think people get caught up in the hype, and they just don't overlook the facts that's the way it is. But understanding that there's equality for all, and if people want to say that why can't gays serve in the military, well, you can, under the rule that you don't ask, you don't tell. But that's just the way it is. That's the way it's been. That's the way it's allotted. That's lucky that they even get that privilege to even be that way. That's lucky that that's even a privilege that that we don't have segregated bathrooms for that type of thing. People were really wise to the fact and the key that those things need to be looked at and addressed, because it ain't no different than me walking into a woman's restroom or a woman's shower room and there not being a problem about it. It's basically, that is the way our societies develop themselves, and that's the way that's the way several societies are, because that's just the way it is. This is the matter of the quantity to the masses, and that's, you put the same objective things together with themselves. So yeah. So anyhow, I'd love to see your comments on this. That's my ideas on things. So okay, have a good day. Bye. Sorry, you get a little shaving going on, but that's okay. Bye.